That's done! Round 4. 2700 FM has 0 out of 3. Just to show you the magnitude of this tournament. A lot of people playing this. You'll probably know everything, all the theory with bishop g5, so let's just play this. Interesting. Play a4. On a6, knight a3, and then I prophylaxis, your prophylaxis. Maybe this FM is just slow. We'll use that to our advantage. Let's play quick. I think I want to go g3. Whoa. I have to take as d4 threatened. There's no discoveries, good thing. Yeah, I think just this. And here there's a new weakness created. That's done. That's done! That's done! That's done! Just be the 2600 FM! Yes! Yes! GG's! I want to see if bishop b1 was the best move. Second best move! Second best move! I'll take that any day of the week. This, I'm not sure about f3. King g3? No, king f1, yeah. I looked at king f1. It doesn't look appetizing. It's not a sexy move. And you're not going to go king f2 because there's this. This is the strongest rated player I've beaten. Ah! This is the strongest rated player I've beaten in the tournament in my life on chess.com. Wait, let's check this together. We go into blitz. We go into all time. We go into best win. I just did my best win on chess.com. I just did my best win on chess.com. Sorry. Best win 2659. That's what we just did. That's what we just did. Wow, my greatest win on chess.com. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. Although it was a smooth game from start to finish, this was a tough conversion, and I did slip at one point, giving the game a very nice tactic. So let's see. e4, c5, this is the analysis, knight f3. We're going to do some book moves until we hit this Sveshnikov defense, which is knight f6 and then d6 here. And now I go bishop e3. I really didn't want to go the book move, the other book move, bishop g5, because usually if you play this very specialized opening and you have a very highly rated opponent, most likely they are very well prepared against this opening, and they'll know when you blunder, they'll know when you do an inaccuracy, they know their plans, they know what plans work for you, and so I couldn't deal with that because it would just put me in low time, it would pressure my position. So I went with something more underground to put my opponent off guard, and sure enough, it worked. Bishop e6 is a small mistake. Now I don't know why this is a mistake. Knight d5 is suggested. Interesting. Threatening knight c7, and I presume after knight d5, if you take with the knight, this is completely winning for the white pieces because I have a fork, and if you take with your bishop, e takes d5, this knight goes to e7, and now black's development is a bit restricted, they cannot castle very quickly, and this gives white a very small edge. After bishop e6 though, I went a4 to go back to a3, these are mistakes somehow. After d5, we take, knight takes, and then I take and take. Knight c4 getting back into the game, exchanging twice, and I was surprised that my opponent was so willing to go to an endgame. Maybe they wanted to convert there, but usually like the opponent wants to destroy you in the middle game and get this over with, especially in this type of tournament where the rating gap is so different. But no, after queen takes and rook takes, my opponent not only wants to trade queens and go into an endgame, wants to trade rooks as well. And now I do a very key move to stabilize the maintenance of this file. And I do castles. And castles defends my rook with a rook so that I don't have a king standing in the middle of an open d file, which was the case if I left my king here. And so instead here, if you take, I take back with the rook and I own the file now on d1. So my opponent closes the file with bishop d6, and now I go bishop b6. Attack the rook here because I wanna own the file. I wanna be the conqueror of the file. So if the rook moves away, I win the bishop, so the rook is pretty much forced to d7. Now it's harmless for the black pieces, but it's a bit uncomfortable, as my pieces will put pressure on these kind of weakened pieces. It's gonna look better and better for white. So I go c3, a little prophylaxis here. I wanna restrict this knight's movement because I know that it's really difficult to relocate this knight and it creates black extra troubles. Now king e7 is a really good move in my opinion for quick movement, so it frees up this rook here. Rook d2, e4, and now I switch my plan. So you see I had a plan to double rooks here on the d file, put some pressure on this bishop, right? Maybe sack a rook on d6 and put bishop c5, pinning the rook to the king. But no, once e4 is played and this little tactic is threatened, bishop h2 check, king takes, and rook takes, winning the exchange, I knew that this was just played for the sake of threatening a tactic, which I call a cheapo back home. And how do you punish a cheapo, which is actually a bad move, is by looking at how it's a bad move. And this is just a move for a move, I believe. And now I can put pressure on this overextended pawn that is also pinned, which is extra bonus because now I get like f3 things, putting more pressure for free on it. So after f5, f3, attacking the pawn, knight e5, I missed. This knight move is very important for the black pieces. The pawn is not pinned anymore. So this pawn is actually threatening to take on f3, and it's on tempo as well, which is a bit frustrating. I have to go back. Bishop b3 was a bit better. I wanted to leave, however, some space for my pawns to move, because this is a 3-on-2 for the endgame, so you don't want to block any of your chances here. So takes, and now I'm threatening f4. They have to push f4 or move the king, and now I have bishop d4. A little bit better was rook d1, but I really don't understand why rook d1 is that much better, if I'm being honest. King f6, and now we go rook e1, just tripling the pressure here and forcing a rook to defend on e5. Threatening more weaknesses. You're piling on the threats. Sorry, there's a train here that's passing by in my small town. And we're threatening more weaknesses here. But they want king h1 for a reason. And so this is really key. You know, I can be a little bit lazy on this f3 threat because the knight is pinned. So as long as this king doesn't move and this knight doesn't threaten this pawn automatically, we are good. g5 and now c4. I wanted to go c5. That was my plan, but apparently this is a big blunder. c5 loses to the magnificent move bishop takes c5. And now this not only pins my bishop to my king, so I can't just like win this piece. If I try to win this piece, we just play it all out, and this bishop cannot take this rook at the end because it's still pinned. And after you take this bishop, well then black is left with the exchange up. So that is not favorable at all. So white are pretty much forced to take on c5. And what happens now is that the pin on this knight is gone. So this knight is free. And so knight takes f3 is a possibility for black. King f2 is played. And now this fork is in full spin. But not only that, this is even better than taking on e1. If you take my knight, I take your rook. And if you do anything else, let's say rook here, and then I go like g4, and now I have like rook e2 things, and this is going to be mating pretty soon. So no, this was not good. c5 because of bishop takes c5. Always look at the moves that are outside the box just to prevent. But no, my opponent also messed up here and didn't call my bluff on c5. Bishop c7 is a miss. b4 to defend and secure, and so if we diluted to a pawn endgame, this would be winning for white because I would have a passer here with b5 and c5 very easily actually. So that is a good thing to have in your mind, which means that white can now liquidate the position fully. g4, knight d3 was a bit better, forking my two pieces, but no, here I played bishop b1, not only taking away from that possible fork before, but also threatening a discovered check, winning pieces. And so takes king f2, and now I'm really, you know, threatening to take this knight, threatening to take this pawn. It's difficult for the black pieces. The best move is king h6, which is not a move you really gravitate to usually. So king g5, and now rook g1 check. And here, I'm gonna be honest, I did not see knight g4, but I realized, like, this undefends f3. So moments after we take, we're threatening this knight, and it's tough to not give up this knight. You have to play king here, and now this is not possible because of takes, and then rook takes, disconnecting my king from the defense of my rook. So yeah, that's tough to find with 9 seconds on the clock, and now I have h3 winning a piece and winning the game, and this is played out of pure time pressure, and then I won. That is my best win on chess.com, you guys, a 2674 at the time. I know it says 2659, but that is almost a 2700, by far my biggest win on chess.com Blitz. Hope you enjoyed.